Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. Big news coming out of Wall Street, my friends, and big players are making big moves with crypto. We have a Wall Street veteran launching a crypto fund. We have Goldman Sachs making some statements about FTX Exchange and their respective IPO, as well as the Metaverse, and Morgan Stanley talking about Bitcoin Lightning Network. We're also going to talk about Tesla, Elon, and Bitcoin, and much more. Before we get to it, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. If you're listening on a podcast site, please give me a 5-star rating. Quick word from our sponsor, and that is iTrust Capital, which allows you to trade your cryptocurrencies within a retirement account, essentially in a IRA, which gives you huge tax benefits and savings. And they have 25 plus cryptocurrencies. They also have gold and silver. There are no monthly fees. There are no subscription fees or anything like that. And they are using top of the level security. They leverage Coinbase custody, which a lot of institutions use, as well as Fireblocks. So you don't have to worry about your crypto getting hacked and so forth. You're essentially, your crypto is going to be sitting within what the big players and institutions use, and that is Coinbase custody. They also have a really great app on both iOS and Android, and it is free to sign up, guys. You can go sign up today and check it out and see if it's for you. And there are no monthly fees or hidden fees or anything like that. In fact, if you use my link in the description, you can get a $100 funding bonus. So be sure to check out iTrust Capital, link in the description. Just a quick note here, this article is from yesterday. They actually, iTrust Capital surpassed $5 billion in crypto IRA transactions. So they are growing. And, once again, here's a sub headline. You get huge tax savings. Individuals typically do not need to worry about capital gains taxes while trading in an IRA. That is the big selling point for this, guys, because, man, capital gains taxes on crypto trades, whether it be short-term or long-term, is brutal. So once again, check out iTrust Capital, link in the description. Let's look at the market here. Bitcoin pumping a bit here. It is over $42,000 right now. Ethereum over $3,100. So we're seeing some green across the board. And this goes back to what we were talking about since Sunday, guys, or even maybe Saturday, that after the tax sell-off, that we would stop seeing downward press movements or pressure, and we'll start seeing a bounce upwards. But I'm not expecting Bitcoin to catapult or skyrocket to 70K or 100K. We are still in that retracement channel, guys, and that range here, and Bitcoin's just chopping, but it's forming higher highs and higher lows. So on the daily chart, looks good. We see our bounce upwards. On the weekly chart, we see a green candle forming here. So looking good. At this point, though, as I've been saying, I know it's almost like I'm repeating myself. We just got to be patient. Let things play out. The how things have played out historically is that Bitcoin would go into retracement, and then altcoins will start popping off. So keep your eye on some of the altcoins. Maybe some that you're holding. Like I'm holding some that I had from since 2017 that I want to get rid of. So you want to keep an eye, if they're popping off and hitting new all-time highs, and take your profits, right? So certainly don't use your emotions when it comes to investing, and be patient and have a macro perspective. So things are moving ahead. Nevertheless, here is some big news. Wall Street veteran launching token-only VC firm aiming for $50 million to $75 million. Now, some of you may say 50 to 75 million. That doesn't seem like a lot. But remember, there's so many of these funds popping up now. When you total it up, it's in the billions, guys. It's pretty crazy what's happening. And everyone almost sees the writing on the wall here. A lot of these traditional investment folks, hedge funds and VCs, are now jumping into crypto and starting crypto funds. So this is a Blockworks exclusive. Due diligence for potential investments is handled by an incubator that consults on tokenomics and broader blockchain strategies. The venture capital firm just started fundraising for its flagship vehicle. Employing a Web3 focus, the strategy plans to key in on 5 verticals: fashion, finance, gaming, music, and sports. So let me give you some more details. A longtime cryptocurrency proprietary trader is trying his hand in the venture capital space, according to sources familiar with the matter. Antonio Halleck is now in capital raising mode for his Illumina Capital, a digital assets focused venture firm with an incubator that keys in on token investments, not equity stakes. So it's important to the statement here, guys, token investments, not equity stakes. So what we've been seeing more and more of is that these firms, these hedge funds and venture capital firms are buying the tokens along with equity. But it's been, I think we're seeing more of a shift towards the tokens. That is great news, my friends. They're buying the actual tokens. That's what we want. The equity is fine. I think the equity is important because it helps build out the Coinbases of the world and get these exchanges and these platforms, which lead to more people coming into the platform, right? Into the market, excuse me. So it's like an indirect trickle down effect that happens. But if they're buying the tokens and holding them, that is awesome news. So the startup's fundraising efforts are led by veteran hedge fund marketer Melissa Fox. She plans to raise between 50 million and 75 million for the launch, with backing from a number of institutional investors, sources said, including crypto natives and deep-pocketed traditional financiers. Illumina's flagship vehicle, Illumina Fund 1, imposes a minimum investment of $1 million, but the word is that would-be limited partners are already asking to chip in considerably larger amounts. Guys, it's a time of milk and honey. Capital is flowing in. I'll say it again. If you are an entrepreneur building in the crypto space, now is the time to go knocking on the doors of these hedge funds and VCs. You will get capital. Man, if you have just a decent idea, you probably get, 5 to 10 million. You got a, good idea, maybe 50 million or something, right? It's an amazing time, guys. It's an amazing time. And if you want to work in the crypto industry, now would be the time to do it. There's so many open jobs and roles. Coinbase and a lot of these exchanges said they're hiring hundreds of people. So it's you would get your asking salary or probably higher. So I'm throwing it out there as someone who's in the industry. I'm seeing things, guys. So just think about it. Could your respective skill set, could you apply that within the crypto industry at some of these firms? And guys, we're still what maybe the top of the first inning or bottom of the second inning, and there's still ways to go. We're still very early. And a lot of these folks are trying to grab up as much talent and capital as possible. Now, speaking of Wall Street, Goldman Sachs wants to forge closer ties with Bitcoin exchange FTX. This is interesting. So FTX, we've been talking about them a lot. They are one of the biggest players, a lot of capital, a lot of resources, a lot of political influence. And they did a Super Bowl ad. They bought the naming rights of the Miami Heat Arena. They're partnering with Tom Brady, Steph Curry. So they're going for the mainstream branding, mass marketing, which I think makes sense in these early days. So Goldman Sachs wants a piece of the pie. They saw what happened with Coinbase. Look at the valuation of Coinbase going public. A lot of money was made there, right? Goldman Sachs, they know, so they're trying to build relationships, and they probably want to help FTX go public. I don't blame them, but guys, the point is, these traditional financial firms and banks and so forth, they see the writing on the wall, and they're jumping in now. And here's something I want to share with you guys from Caroline DeFam, if I'm saying that right. She's a CFTC commissioner. And look, FTX's CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, and their head of regulatory was meeting with her. So they've been doing a lot of work in DC, guys, FTX. And in fact, I recently interviewed their president, Brett Harrison. Let me pull it up here for you guys. I'll put a link in the description so you guys can check out that interview. He talks about their marketing strategy and partnering with the big athletes like Tom Brady and Steph Curry and so forth. So big moves happening here. Got to keep an eye on them. Goldman Sachs also said they expect Apple to launch their own Metaverse product in early 2023. Now, I know some folks may say, well, I don't care about the Metaverse. What does that have to do with the price of my tokens that I'm holding in my portfolio? Well, a lot of these metaverses are going to be built on blockchains or integrate blockchains via NFTs, tokens, and so forth. So the more building you have on these crypto networks, the higher the valuation of the tokens. Just look at Ethereum, right? With crypto kitties, ICOs, NFTs, and the more network adoption you have, the higher the valuation. So it's Metcalfe's law. So network effect playing out here. So that's why I'm bullish on NFTs and Metaverse, even though personally I don't own any NFTs and I haven't done anything with the Metaverse, but I understand that these are branches off the crypto tree and they're going to help bring higher valuations. Now, more Wall Streeters here. Morgan Stanley says Bitcoin's Lightning Network is more practical for small payments than a debit card. I agree with that. And it goes back to my video about the Jack Mallers Strike Lightning Network versus Ripple's ODL, right? I believe that what Jack Mallers is doing is going to be really great for, the El Salvadors and the countries where the infrastructure, the payment infrastructure is not great. And they've been, getting robbed with high fees from some of these major payment companies. So it totally makes sense. Now, will that compete with, a global distributed network like the XRP Ledger working with American Express and Bank of America and all these big banks globally? No. Come on, right? I'm not saying that, okay, maybe what Jack is doing is not great and it has potential. It certainly has potential, but is it going to disrupt the big banks with Ripple's? Of course not. Anyway, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I did a video on that, breaking that down. So I agree with Morgan Stanley here, and I think we're going to see a lot more Lightning Network for small transactions because, look, at the end of the day, you walk into a store and you want to pay with Bitcoin, and if it's like the network is busy, what are you going to do? Wait there an hour? That's ridiculous, right? To make like a $10 payment with some Satoshis, that's ridiculous. So Lightning Network absolutely makes sense. And with the modern technology of QR codes and everybody has smartphones and so forth, it's going to be great and easy to use. So I think we're moving in that direction for sure. Now, I want to talk about Tesla and Elon Musk. So Tesla had their Q1 2022 earnings report, and it was really great. Here, Anthony Pompliano highlighted Tesla just blew away Wall Street expectations for their earnings report, $5 billion in Q1 EBITDA. That's really great. Tesla's doing great. So one of the things they called out in their respective report, they are still holding the $1.26 billion in Bitcoin on their balance sheet. I don't care if you love or hate Bitcoin. These are facts. And I tweeted at Elon, since they are having success and they're doing really well, could they buy more Bitcoin and add it onto the balance sheet? I think it's certainly possible. So we'll see what happens, guys. And then the price is down right now, so now would be the time to accumulate. We know Michael Saylor's been doing this, and we know that SpaceX also has some Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Elon personally owns Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin, of course. So, guys, something to keep on the radar here. I think there's a legitimate scenario here where Elon could buy more Bitcoin for Tesla, especially with inflation going crazy, and they're doing well. So we'll see what happens, but something I think we should keep an eye on. I have a gut feeling about this. I think either, maybe some other companies are going to pop in as well and follow Tesla's move, but we'll have to wait and see. All right. Russia's Federal Tax Service proposes legal entities use Bitcoin and crypto in foreign trade. Man, first Ukraine made the big move, then Russia's, it's just amazing what is taking place. Yes, I know there's like a invasion and a war and so forth, and obviously our thoughts and prayers are with the people of Ukraine, but these situations are fast tracking huge adoptions of crypto by these major countries. And these are just dominoes falling, guys. And remember, it starts with Bitcoin, and then they're going to go to altcoins and so forth. So be patient, guys. Things are moving at an interesting pace here, and just new developments that I don't think many people even could have predicted would have happened are happening. And on that note here, I'll jump ahead to this other news because it's timely. Israel adds the Chinese yuan to $206 billion in reserves in philosophy change, moving to reduce allocation for dollar, euro. Things continue to evolve. This is being reported by Gold Telegraph. This is a big move. And I think we're seeing money and just the world economy changing. And with CBDCs coming too, guys, it's pretty interesting. And here's what Mike Novogratz had to say about this. Israel adding the RMB to its reserves says something about the future of the dollar as the only reserve currency. Countries will have a basket. It will include Bitcoin. I believe this, guys. I think Bitcoin is that digital gold, and folks, these countries, these central banks will hold it like they do gold. I think we're already seeing we're headed in that direction, and I think that's certainly realistic. Now, is it guaranteed? Of course not. But just in how things are playing out globally, what Russia's doing, Ukraine and El Salvador and more countries are planning to do the same, I think this is realistic. And this is why I'm not selling all my Bitcoin. I'm holding some Bitcoin long-term, guys. Very interesting times that we are living in. Now, we're seeing even in the United States, just the dominoes falling as well, state by state. Here, Mayor Scott Singer of Boca Raton, Florida, said, "I get it." And he put a laser eyes photo as his profile picture on Twitter. He said, "Thank you, Francis Suarez, U.S. mayors, and Galaxy Research, Novogratz, for a laser-eyed opening session about crypto companies and yada, yada." So now he is a crypto advocate. Game theory, my friends. Mayor Francis Suarez in Miami was the first to do it. Then we saw Scott Conger do it. Things are moving in the right direction. I hope you see what's happening here. I know some people who hate Bitcoin, or they don't care for Bitcoin, would be like, "Oh, I don't care, laser eyes. I hate laser eyes. That sucks." But the guy's talking about crypto, and he's obviously got educated and understands it now. So the crypto companies are popping up. These folks are going to want to attract the businesses to their respective towns and cities and states and so forth. So we're moving in the right direction, and this is very good for the entire market. Finally, Coinbase has launched an NFT marketplace. So Brian Armstrong said, "Excited to have the first iteration of Coinbase NFT live. Beta invites going out slowly as we ramp up. Shout out to the incredible team who worked hard to make this a reality. Excited to see how NFTs evolve over the coming decade." The expansion, the investments, the building continues. Going back to my initial thought of, if you have an idea, now's the time to start knocking on the VC hedge fund doors, guys. Get that capital. Also, if you want to come work in the industry, you probably get, once again, you're asking salary or higher. So bullish times ahead, my friends. I know some of you are going to be like, "Dude, what are you talking about? Is it bullish? Look at the price. My portfolio's down. I've been holding this coin forever." Patience. Things are moving in the right direction. If you are certainly, it's bothering you to that degree, maybe leave the market, guys. And I'm being honest, right? Or take some profits where you can, and then leave the rest and walk away. And then, if things pop up back in another 6 months or a year, I don't know, but then you can jump back in. But don't get too emotionally worked up over these things. And you can't invest with your emotions. It's so funny. You got to make sure your feelings don't align with the herd, and that is when the prices are very high and they're near the top and everybody's euphoric and everybody's like, "It's going to keep going. It's going to keep on." That point, you should be doing the contrarian or have the contrarian view. And that is, you're selling at the top. When we are this low and so forth, and people are scared and there's a lot of fear, that's when you should be buying. Not financial investment advice. These are just simple principles that exist in almost every market. So do your own research, of course. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.